Okay, here we go for night 2. Dose. Well, this is 4. I guess that'd be quattro. Yeah, my bad. 2 hands, though. So how about that? Yeah, that's right. Math. Anyway, so WrestleMania night 2. Like I said in the video, this is going to be what WWE is going to do, not what I'm going to do, because I was like, I already did that, and I got a better brain of doing this than WWE created. So, they all losers anyway. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into it. Whatever speculation of Randy Orton and whatever his match is going to be, Randy Orton's going to win. I don't know who that's going to be. Could it be Solo? I was like, I'm not going to be all this or whatever. Now, if it's somebody returning or showing up, Miro, Alistair Black, that kind of thing, they're winning. But if it's anybody else versus Randy Orton winning. If he does anything, just thought I'd get out the way. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. This one, I was trying to figure out, because I'm like, okay, Logan Paul, he sort of wins at WrestleMania. I was like, he sort of did a little star or whatever like that. Him winning gets more heat, have him more hated, because he gets somebody you love. But at the same time, I'm like, AJ Styles, I was like, maybe the carrying match reinvigorated him. But then you can say that, hey, this is also part of what Karrion Kross was talking about. Like, that guy didn't come to play, the guy that we all need. I think AJ Styles get this one just because of what Karrion Kross has said about we need the AJ Styles to save this company and whatnot. So I think that AJ Styles gets it in order of a way to be like, that's the AJ Styles that everybody knows. That's the AJ Styles that we need. That's the AJ Styles that's going to be facing Jey Uso in a pay-per-view for the match. Because like Cody last year, who was his first person and who he sort of was off and on with, AJ Styles, who was somebody that, guess what, that I feel like is going to be Jay's year run. You remember how Cody had his adversity run? I think Jay's run is going to be legends or people that we hold up to a certain level of matches. But that's another thing. That's with Jay. We got to see if he wins, and I'll bring that back out. But right here, AJ Styles, I think, gets the match over Logan Paul. Also, I was like, Logan Paul after this, do you want to see him face Jey Uso? Anyway, I was like, I think it's a lot closer than anything, but I'm gonna go with AJ Styles. All right, in a Sin City street fight of Damien Priest and Drew McIntyre. This is Drew all the way. I was like, not only for the year that he had that was really good, and also the drop stuff that they did with him, which I'm about to put in a video of like some where they dropped the ball with Damien, but kind of like he should have been in the 3-way on night 1, but that's another story. He's going to beat Damien Priest because I think that, hey, while he was having problems before all that, especially with the blood and stuff like that, his stuff with his whole year-long thing with CM Punk really started at last year's WrestleMania with Damien Priest. So guess what? You're going to sort of right the wrong, overdo that by beating Damien Priest and getting your life back on track. Now, I was like, with that, maybe he goes into a whole thing where he's facing some of those same people that he lost against or whatever. We'll see. But anyway, I was like, he's going to beat Damien Priest in a street fight match, which I was like, it's going to be really good. This is right up Damien Priest's alley that I think that they'll pull out. I think a lot of these are all going to be really good matches, but I think that they went the right way what they did with Damien and Drew in this situation, if that's the route we're going to go. All right. Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. It's going to be Liv and Raquel because it makes no sense. You know what? I'm not even going to say that like it's a full-on stamp of approval. To me, no, they could. I was like, I think it's going to be Liv and Raquel that wins it because the whole thing with Judgment Day, them having some type of titles, and them having the titles, I think, can also be interesting from that factor. I will say, just for the side of Bayley and Lyra, that if they're doing, so Bayley has got a win over Lyra, Lyra got a win over Bayley. To me, if they're doing some type of, Cesaro, Sheamus, Chris Benoit, Kurt Angle, people who are in a tag team, and it's not like one they're like, how can I was like, it's how they can coexist, but it's not like two top people where it's like, it'd be like Randy Orton, John Cena, Triple H, or something like that, where it's like they're at the top and they're over here about to face off. I was like, but it's somebody that's in competition with one another, and that sort of builds them as a tag team while also them wanting to do single stuff. Because I was like, Lyra can still defend her stuff while Bayley's like, hey, we're even, but we're a tag team and we got to do the tag team title. It gives Bayley something to do. So that's why I said it's not a full on, I'm choosing Liv and Raquel. I think Liv and Raquel just is that with the Judgment Day gives them more ammunition than Bayley and Lyra, but I wouldn't be shocked because of what if they decide to do that, where they're just like in competition with each other, but yet they are able to also coexist because they're basically good guys, so it's a little different in that situation. Neither one of them's like a hard ass or heels or nothing like that. So now with the Fatal 4-Way of Penta versus Bron Breakker, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. I was like, still difficult. I think night 2 is actually gonna have more. No. I took that away when I took the Drew Damien thing. Anyway, out of the 4, I think that is going to be pretty much Judgment Day. I don't think, but whether it's Finn or Dominic, that's the part that's difficult because I was like, I could see Finn winning and then Dominic being like, yo, I had a chance to pin you and I didn't pin you, and like, or he like, I had a chance to win and Finn's like, but you didn't. But if Dominic wins, guess what? Now Finn is all snarly, gripey, and he has to fake the fact that like, yeah, it's in Judgment Day, we're all family, but he ain't got the championship. Penta, I was like, I think that they have done enough with Penta and Judgment Day that he can always keep coming back. Bron is the tricky one because I think he's about to have that jump like Gunther did. I can also see him facing Jay at the same time, so they don't have beef if Jay gets the championship. Bron also did have a thing with AJ, and I was like, you don't need a title for that, but it would make more sense here. I think Judgment Day gives it because I think there's going to be some like that. They keep making their faction more prominent, so I was like, I think it's going to give something to an added layer, and so I'm going to go with Finn here. I think Dominic just sort of do it. I was like in a way where it's like, hey, you keep picking on Dom, everybody else sees it, and the problem to everybody, they get rid of you, Finn. I think that might be the storyline they go with at that point. So that's what I don't feel great about. But this was hard. You got a 25 chance. So I don't feel like I'm necessarily in the wrong either. Watch, it's just gonna be Bron Breakker winning again, and then this doesn't mean anything. Now on to the day 2 triple threat. I don't know what was that. That was a claw there, but Io, Sky, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair. I said that I wanted Bianca to win so that healers can be around the corner, but who I think should win is really Io, and I think Io actually comes out of it. If you would have asked me a while back, I'd have probably been like, Bianca's going to win this. But I do think, especially how the crowd is sort of been or whatever like that, I think Triple H like all of them. But I think there is something to understand that it's like, and I was like, this sort of reminds me of when Benoit got it. I was like, and I'm pretty, that was Chris Jericho, Triple H, where it's like, those two were the bigger names. You didn't see Benoit getting it. Man, that's 2 Benoit references here. I think that might be what it is. Or if you want to look at Valkyria, Triple H, or I was like Daniel Bryan, or was that? I was like, what's that right now? I forget. I forget which one. But you get what I'm saying. Those triple threat where there were like 2 main people and an underdog. Io's the underdog. I think that you give it to Io. She been getting mush mouth in the face because you could do Bianca and Rhea where they get into it so much they keep on underestimating Io. Io just basically beat them and uses them to their own, to their own detriment or whatever like that. She uses smarts. She does her smarts. And just wins this match. I was like, I think Io does come out of it. Rhea does not win this. Rhea does not win this one. She's like Roman. She does not win this at all. So you got a 2-people race, and I think Io gets it in this situation. So the underdog actually wins here. Now to our last one, John Cena and Cody Rhodes. I don't know, because if Cody wins and you break up, which I do, I'm not gonna act like he doesn't need a break. Now I'm not even talking about for resting, but I do think you want to have him be in a hungry state. We haven't seen Cody when he's at the top and then he gets brought back to a regular spot or whatever. Now I will say I think it would amplify if The Rock comes out. And he doesn't even, I don't even think he has to interfere and like do anything to Cody. I just think he just comes out and it's just like, Cody's not going to be dumb baby face and get distracted and be like, oh. But it does create some type of distraction. I think it's better for business for John Cena to get it. The problem is where does he lose? Does he go the whole year with it and loses at the end? Because to me, I can't see anybody else winning this back from John Cena but Cody, to be honest. I can't see it. I can't see Cody not getting his lick back from John Cena after he basically loses there. So what do you do with Cody that whole time? Where like John Cena, I was like, there's plenty of stuff to do. Where like if Cody wins, I was like, there's still a lot of stuff to do with John Cena, but what does Cody do? And I was like, so I think John Cena gets the win. You're going to have to figure out something with Cody, but I think it's easier to find something for Cody to build himself up with than when he's already had the championship. And it's like, who outside of like the speculation of Randy that we don't know if that's ever going to happen. You know, I was like, Jacob Fatu, I was like, I think it might be better if Jacob Fatu faces Cody while Cody's down and Jacob Fatu beats Cody in that type of way. So I'm gonna go with John Cena. I think it's more stuff to do for both of those individuals in that situation than it is in the other situation where I think John Cena only is the one that has really like the best route of easy story making stuff, and plus it gives some meaning when he does come and show up on appearances with the title that he's threatening to like leave with or whatever and change back than it would be if he didn't have it or whatever. And then later down we can the possible of him turning back like face is going to be difficult if he doesn't lose also later on too. So it's like they could pull that where it's like go ahead and start that redemption tour now, because he could still be bad for a while before he starts his redemption tour. But if he had the title, when is that redemption tour going to happen? You can still do something about it. I'm still going to go with John Cena. Anyway, that's my picks of WWE for night 2. Night 2. Disagree, agree, let me know. Rock shows, hey, let me know. Anyway, until then, night 2, I'm out.